new girlfriend, and my daughter disapproves of her. They have been getting in fights every day and I'm about to lose one of them. I, 51 Nept, have been dating my girlfriend Millie for just over 6 months. My wife died 4 years ago and this is my longest relationship since. However, my daughter Bianca, 21F, disapproves. She has a lot of issues with me and Millie, but the main ones are the way we met, through a website, and that I moved Millie into our house fairly quickly after 3 months. In my defense, losing my wife much earlier than I had ever imagined really taught me to seize and enjoy each moment. And it just felt right to both of us to have Millie there with me permanently. 2 months ago, Bianca and Millie got in dispute over our spare room, which Bianca uses as a music space. But Millie wanted to convert into a shooting space for social media, which is her job. I took Millie's side since she's going to be here longer term, so Bianca sped up her plans to move out to the next week and asked that I warn her if Millie's going to be present at any event or visit. Anyway, last week I thought it would be nice to treat Millie for her birthday, and she asked for a shopping trip and dinner out, which I was happy to do. The issue is she specifically asked to go to a restaurant where Bianca works as a waitress, since it's known as one of the most exclusive and classy places in our town. I knew Bianca was working that day, but figured it would be all right since it's a large restaurant and a special occasion. When we arrived, we were given another server, so I thought everything was okay. About 15 minutes later, Bianca walked out from the kitchen and immediately saw us sitting there, then walked straight back without even saying hi. She kept passing the table and silently glaring daggers at Millie, which was just unnecessary when Millie tried to be polite. Millie then asked Bianca for the bill because she was the nearest waitress, and Bianca slapped it down on the table wordlessly, then sent another waitress to see us out. Later, I called her and asked why she had behaved like a child. Bianca said that me and Millie had been deliberately flirting to upset her, which is untrue. The most that happened was a couple of kisses and a bit of footsie, giggling. Bianca also claims that when I briefly left to use the toilet, Millie called her over and told her not to contact me for the next few days, as we would be too busy engaging in private activities. I find it hard to believe Bianca, because Millie has made an effort to bond with her through organizing girly activities among other things, while Bianca has a history of manipulating others to get her way. Bianca then told me she wants no contact with Millie or with me, apart from at family gatherings. My family is split over the issue, and my ex-wife's sister called to cuss me out for neglecting Bianca, who is still grieving her mother. Aita, I understand that Bianca and Millie have their issues and Bianca misses her mother, but Bianca was at work and I think she should have been more professional. OP Daughters makes a post on Reddit. Here it is. Hey everyone, this is Bianca talking, after I saw the Twitter thread made with Dad's post and my roommate encouraged me to make an account to at least try to defend myself. I hope at least some of you hear me out, and tie to the very kind Twitter peeps who are looking out for me. Appreciate it, guys. And I'm fine. What my dad says has grains of truth but is so far from the full story it's basically bullshit. My mom did die when I was 17, and me and Dad were actually very close. He started dating again a couple years after she died, and I was always very supportive until Millie came along. Regardless of what Dad says, me and Millie had an emotional relationship lasting several months, which ended in a massive bust-up and us losing contacts. And he was aware of this when I told him I recognized her. He brushed it aside and told me I would get used to it, and we would be introduced gradually. I was stupid and believed his shit. He moved her into the house without asking me while I was visiting Mom's family for the week. She did not try to bond with me. She used our shopping days and trips as an excuse to get money off Dad for herself. She cried and begged Dad until he got rid of my music room, and he fell for it. I asked them not to be intimate when I was around because I was uncomfortable. They ignored me. Millie and Dad have since tried to contact me regularly and have shown up in unexpected places. They showed up at my church. They have apparently visited my work and asked my friends if I'm there. They have even tried messaging me to ask when I'm visiting Mom's grave and I want them to join. They are despicable people who deserve to be cut off. I would love to hear Dad's explanation of why I'm manipulative. Until then, tie some to everyone looking out for me again, and just don't believe any of the crap in this thread. Other than the shit about liking young women. That's probably true. Editor note. For some reason, OP gave everyone initials instead of names in this one. For the sake of readability, I have given previously named individuals their names back and given the daughter's wife the name Efru after a character from the Star Wars, The High Republic books. I, 52, have a daughter Bianca, 23F, who got married last week to her wife Efru, 24F. They had been dating just under a year and decided to have an intimate wedding with me and about 20 other guests. Bianca does not get along with my fiancée Millie, 29F. Bianca has no contact at all with Millie, refuses to come to our house, and has been quite low contact with me for the last year or so because of an argument she had with Millie. As expected, Bianca did not invite Millie to the wedding, but invited me as a guest. Millie said she did not mind if I went without her, which I thought was very gracious in the face of rudeness. However, we recently found out that Millie is a few weeks pregnant with our first child, and she has been anxious and having panic attacks all the way through her pregnancy. The morning of the wedding, I found Millie crying on the sofa and literally shaking. I asked what was wrong, and she said she felt very panicky and unsafe alone. I offered to stay home since she was so ill, and I was worried about her, but she insisted I go to the wedding. I was too concerned to go without her, so I messaged Efru, informed her of the situation and that Millie would be coming with me in case she had a medical emergency while I was away. Efru did not respond until we were already dressed up and halfway to the venue. Efru told us that Millie was not to set foot at the wedding, but at that point I had no other option, and I wanted to be there for Bianca. It did not go well. Bianca did not speak to me the whole way through the wedding, and kept giving ugly looks to Millie. At the reception, there obviously wasn't a place set for Millie and an extra chair had to be squeezed in. Bianco. I cut some food and fed her off my own plate, so I did not think it was a big deal. Efru came to me after dinner, said that Bianca was not doing a father-daughter dance with me, and gave me a list of complaints. She said she was disgusted by Millie's dress because it was red, and that Millie was wrong to introduce herself as stepmother to Bianca, and that Millie should not have mentioned her pregnancy at all. Millie only mentioned her pregnancy because she was offered a little cake, and cake makes her sick because of the pregnancy hormones. Efru told us to leave after dinner, and I agreed, so I did not upset Bianca. However, when Millie stood up, her stomach cramped and she fell over. It only made a tiny scene, but I rushed her out and we sat in another room for 20 minutes until she felt better. Efru's mother came in at that point while I was just calming Millie down and made us get out. Since then, Efru and Millie's maternal family have been sending me angry messages about how rude we were, and Efru has told me they want no contact for the foreseeable future. I really meant well, and I just wanted to make everyone happy, but Aita? I am marking this as concluded as OP's daughter seems to have cut him off for good. Story 2. It's my wife. It has always been my wife. My wife and I are in our late 30s. We're the parents to 2 beautiful boys. For the longest time, my wife has chronically been unable to keep a schedule. I work 50 hours a week, come home, and despite my back being in agony on most days, cook dinner 4 or 5 times a week. I'll generally do at least half the dishes. I'll bathe both of our sons. My wife, Sam, does the other household tasks. The only things that I generally avoid are those that involve leaning down to the floor. Picking up toys, for example, is hard for me. In addition, after work, I want to spend some time lying down flat when possible. It helps alleviate my back pain. The day before yesterday, I got home after working for 10 hours and cooked dinner for everybody. It was a nutritious meal using fresh vegetables. Our sons loved it and both asked for more. I then threw the first load of dishes into the dishwasher, ran it, and went to my room to lie down. 20 minutes later, I came out to check on things. My wife was still slowly eating, staring at her phone. I went back. Another 30 minutes later, I came out. Same situation. I went back. Another 30 minutes later, I came out. Same situation. Wife is glued to her phone, slowly chewing every bite. I kind of lie down on the sofa as my back is still killing me, watching my older boy play with his Legos and my younger boy chew on Legos. Another 20 minutes pass and it's 8:15, way past bath time. You see, dinner was done early. Boys were fed early. Dishes were mostly done early. My wife was holding up the show, chewing slowly, doom scrolling through Instagram. She suddenly notices the time, and like every single solitary day, panics and says, "It's 8:15. Yes. 8:15 comes at the same time every day. She proceeds to throw an enormous tantrum about me lying down. Complains that I never do anything around the house. I gently suggest she put down her phone and actually do something productive. Then she drops a nuclear bomb on the conversation. How about I go start the divorce proceedings? When she doesn't get her way, she frequently does this. She starts bringing up perceived slights, arguments from months or years ago at the same time. Yesterday I got home, and I cooked dinner as usual. This time, when my wife walked in, I told her to piss off. I said she should go to her room and screw around on her smartphone. I don't care. She did so, and something magical happened. Instead of waiting for her to do her fair share, and instead of expecting her to pitch in properly, I did everything myself. With the goal of a 9:00 bedtime, I was done with literally everything, including cooking, cleaning the kitchen, washing the dishes, bathing both boys, brushing their teeth, reading them a bedtime story, and getting them into their pajamas by 8. Took the younger boy to bed at that time. A 1-year-old should not be getting into bed at 9 a.m. And the older boy was tired, so he went to sleep at 8:30. I just couldn't believe how easy everything was without her. Without her 2-hour dinner marathons holding everyone up, it was the easiest night I've probably ever had as a father. Honestly, I don't know what to do. My wife is completely closed to any suggestions because in her mind, she's the perfect mother and any suggestion is a personal slight. I'm so tired of having the finger pointed at me anytime anything goes wrong. I'm not a single parent to 2 children. Not even 3. I'm a single parent to 2 boys and a constantly angry parasite.